Hello, everybody. It is the waning of the sun's dance in Cancer. And there's there's a lot to say about what the energy is going to be for this next week coming up. Right off the bat, I'm just going to go jump over and let's take a look at the chart here. So I'm doing this on Sunday. Uh, I mentioned this last week is that Mercury is going to be moving across the sun and doing its Cassini dance. And I said a couple things about it. This is currently the cycle that's underway, here today on Sunday. So the process of finding appropriate words to wrap the experience of life within. I think that's kind of like the message of what astrology can have for us. It isn't always necessarily going to be the case, but if we have the willingness to do that astrological dance and recognize that we are a part of that music that is creating these opportunities for us to, really move in stride with what the planetary language is offering for us to consider. So that's the realm of what these celestial chatters that I bring to you is my aim. And hopefully, with, maybe a wee bit of tongue in cheek, we will all recognize that we are listening to a musical interlude of the celestial chatter that is requiring us to step it up, become a part of that dynamic experience that is going on all around us and within us. So this week, the very first thing that I notice when I look at this week is that Mercury is getting very close to the end of its sign, where it is right now in Cancer. We're getting also close to the first quarter moon, or the last quarter moon. And we've got 5 degrees left, actually 5 degrees, 4 degrees and a couple of minutes left until the sun shifts off into Leo. And that is going to be something worth paying attention to, because Leo is that's a dynamic sign. It is the sun coming home to the sign that it rules. And the sun is vitality. Leo, this is, is the capacity that we have to utilize that vitality in an overt kind of expression out into the world that says, hello world, here I am, are you ready? This world is a stage and I am upon it, pay attention. Yeah, let's go jump right off into Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have, this is the 19th. Yep, 19th. Notice what I talked about right to begin with, Mercury, how we think and how we talk and how we put our thoughts together into some form of manageable context has just gone into Leo. And so that Leo substance is starting to percolate. You know, how far out there am I willing to express myself? You know, am I keeping it all boxed up within me? Or am I just letting it loose, let it fly? You know, there are appropriate times for either of those circumstances, and the vast variety that exists between them is our everyday experience. Leo being excited by Mercury's presence may present opportunities to step up to that plate. You know, if somebody says, you know, oh, by the way, would you like to say something about this, that, or the other thing? Mercury in Leo is going to, you know, if you're willing to play the game, is hardly going to hold itself back. So, energy uptick in what we think and how we say things to the world. What is our level of communication going to be? This is Tuesday. Tuesday's a Mars day. Well, Mars slipping along here through Cancer is, you know, I think we got about 9 degrees. I don't know if it's moving fast enough quite yet to catch up with Uranus, but anyway, Tuesday's a Mars day. So this Mercury shift into Leo, which is another fire sign, Mars, by the way, ruling Aries, is, you know, I think it's paying attention and saying, whoa, what's this? Uptick in energy? You know, I want to play too. Absolutely. You know, so don't feel like you need to contain yourself too much as we go into this week. There's an energy uptick that is asking us to participate, not just be a wallflower of some kind, but to really, you know, get out there, mix and mingle. This is the energy that is heading our way. Yeah, we're still in Cancer for the next couple days, but you know, if you were to query your clan and your ancestors as to whether this was an appropriate time to, you know, step up to the plate and do something, I think you're going to receive an affirmative from either of those areas. They're, you know, it is, you know, the energy is beckoning. Pay attention. Might there be something that, you know, really you may have been holding back in some way that wants to leap forth right now? This is Tuesday. What happens on Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday, the last quarter square of the moon to the sun. And here you see the moon at 28 degrees of Aries, sun at 2753, which is as much as 28, and Pluto up here at 2720 Aries going in retrograde. This is a T known as a T-square. Squares and oppositions. You know, one of the phrases that is, I think was coined by Dane Rudhyar, wouldn't swear to that, but the last quarter moon, the waning quarter moon, crisis in consciousness. Well, if you look at this, we have the moon is, since it moves essentially 12 degrees a day, and it's only a couple of degrees away from Taurus, it's in that zone of time where transitions are underway. Pluto, 27 degrees of Capricorn, much slower moving. It's the, the exact opposite of that speedy lunar dance. Yes, it is near the end of Capricorn, but it's not going into Aquarius until next year sometime. So, yeah, it is still in that zone, those last few degrees of a sign where there is, you can sense something in the air. A change is, it beckons our attention to say, I feel like something is altering here. The moon, also in the last couple degrees of the sign that it's in, the sun, in the last couple degrees of the sign it's in. It's in a moon sign, Cancer. Also, here's that same kind of energy. There's an adjustment that is, it's in the offing. You can feel it, starting to sparkle the air around you. Can you sense that? This is Wednesday, by the way, middle of the week. It is a Mercury day, because that's what Wednesday is. What are your thoughts? What are the things that are on the tip of your tongue that might feel just a little bit more excited than usual? Crisis in consciousness? Last quarter moon, the waning sense of feeling in this Cancer dance that we've been going through for this month. And one has to ask, are my thoughts, are my intentions as clear as I hoped or hope that they would be at this point? Is there a crisis there? Is there an edginess maybe that you can sense that is saying, hey, you've been hanging around in the background a little too long. It's time to step up to the plate and do something. Don't be a wallflower. Be yourself. Anyway, the next big, giant, exciting thing that things, and there's a lot of aspects that are going on in this mix as well that I'm not bringing up intentionally, because otherwise I could talk for hours about all the different things. Here we come. Thursday is a Jupiter day. Well, Jupiter is over here, 8 degrees of Aries, and we say, anything near 8 degrees of Aries? Nope, haven't got anything near 8 degrees of Aries. However, what we do have is, if you notice, moon. This is 8 o'clock in the morning, essentially, these charts are. The moon is less than a degree away from of Mars. So during the early hours of this morning, Mars is going to have its energy lunarized. You will, if you're paying attention, you might be able to sense that energy core of what Mars represents be inspired, and it's a Jupiter day. It's not a small inspiration. It's, think big whenever there's a Jupiterian kind of energy on the table. Don't hold yourself back. And you might sense from the words that I'm saying that there's a lot of energy that is, just itching to leap forward on this day, this week, and rightly so. We're only just a little more than a degree away from the sun going into Leo, which, by the way, takes place on Friday, here's the chart, on Friday. And what do we have? We're 29 degrees, 47 minutes for the sun. So basically 13 minutes away from going into Leo. And since the sun moves a degree a day, it's going into Leo today, Friday. Get ready for the weekend. Can you feel it coming? Can you hear the music in the air? Leo, get out. Be on stage. Let your music play and let life just erupt with the excitement of what it means to be a vehicle of expression. And it's Friday. How is your weekend plans going? How are they? Do you sense opportunities that, might this be? I'm going to just throw this out as a suggestion. Since Leo and theater are kind of like, these are kissing buddies, there's a dynamic energy about it, and it's the weekend. This would be a good opportunity, possibly, to go observe some theater, participate in some theater. Northern Hemisphere, it's summertime. Get out. Take chances. That's another Leonian thing. Life can be a gamble. And when the Leo energy is in the mix, that taking of chances and gambling with things that, you wouldn't necessarily be inclined to are right there on the table saying, go for it, Be more dynamic in what it is that's taking place in your world. You're not going to sit back and miss out on this, are you? Okay, what else have we got going on this week? We can see the moon is basically, it's going to be finishing up its dance in Cancer on this Friday. And when the weekend arrives, we're going to see the moon has gone into Gemini. Gemini sign ruled by Mercury. The moon in Gemini. Gemini ruled by Mercury. Mercury's in Leo. Can you feel that energy? Moon's in Gemini. How curious are you about the things going on in your world? Can you feel that curiosity percolating within you? You're not alone. This energy is percolating in anybody who's alive and paying attention right now. Are you willing to play the game? Take chances. Find somebody new. Do the dance of life. The beckoning of life is so alive right now. You've got the sun in Leo and Mercury in Leo, right? In those early phases of Leo, it's just kind of like, I need to get out there. I can feel the energy. I need to participate in life. And Moon in Gemini is saying, yes, ask questions that you might be have normally wanted to hold back on. But no, you're not going to get to know things if you're holding back all the time. This is time to, expand that expression. Take chances. It's dynamic, and this is the kind of energy that this particular weekend coming up for us is going to be. And, and it's the beginning of the Leo season. What other things can we look at Leo? Leo, vitality, spiritual fuel. This is the sun. The path of self-realization, the heart center, life purpose, creative center. The image of the sun, the symbol, is a round circle, which is essentially all of life with one dot right in the center. The focus, that focus of the center of creation, ready to express. That's the sun symbol, and you can kind of see I'm read you some words here from my friend Kelly Leaphipps. The unique point of individual awareness surrounded and nurtured by the circle of spirit. The power of creativity. It's not something to just kind of let slide by. The opportunities there. The sun, hot and dry. Hot kicks the energy up. Dry, gives an edginess to things because the potential for something to, be, my dry is up here. I need to see it a little closer than on the wall there. Papers, notes and papers. Dry, it hardens things, separates. Parched, tension, discrimination, analysis, categorization, breaking things down, making distinctions, solitude, estrangement, politics. Yeah, that really makes sense. Warfare, conflict, defining limits, making boundaries, structure, organization, wisdom, and transformation. Are you ready for some transformation as we head on into the Leonian season? We're being asked to. And the sun, coming home to its own sign it's not going to let you just sit back on your laurels, because action, this is a fire sign. There's action always in the equation when fire steps up to the plate. Let's look real quick here at Sunday before I zip off into a consideration of what else we have. When we look at our weekend ahead, that moon's going to be in Gemini for the whole weekend. Don't miss the opportunities. Let your curiosity run wild. Take chances. Do the dance of life. Pay attention. Is there music playing that is appropriate? Are you playing it? There's a lot of other aspects. Venus on its dance through Cancer, is forming a square with Jupiter. Mercury has just gone through its trine with Jupiter. Were you paying attention? This would have been Saturday. Mercury and Jupiter in a trine. Trine is a aspect that it's Leo. That first trine of the zodiac from Aries to Leo. And that trine aspect between Mercury and Jupiter in Aries and Leo, don't think small. It's all right. Think big. It's even better. Hopefully I haven't gone too far over the top with this, but there's an energy uptick that this week is bringing for us to consider on so many levels. If you didn't feel it, I'm inviting you to participate in the fullness that summertime brings for all of us, to participate in as broad Jupiter, trine Mercury, a field as you can imagine. I think I'm just going to let it go at that. I'm afraid I might just get too far carried away if I just keep going. And welcome to the Leo season this week. The energy is begging us to participate at so many opportunities right now. Enjoy the ride. I'll see you all next week.